All right, we're live on Dodgers Digest. Of course, today is a special post-game edition. Mike Nelson here with Brad J. talking about the Dodgers who got a big win this afternoon against the Pittsburgh Pirates. But we definitely got some tough news in terms of one of our pitchers, in Tyler Glasnow. How you doing today, Brad?
I'm doing quite well. I'm glad we're able to do this, and I'm glad we got a win. I'm glad we took 2 out of 3 from the lowly Pirates. And man, I predicted a sweep, so I literally have to drink coffee out of a shoe when I get back home. So,
I know, and it's kind of crazy because they lost the first game of the series, right? I mean, that's what makes it a bit crazy that they were able to get this win.
well, you also look at it, Mike. Like, what's crazy is how many come from behind wins do the Dodgers have? I got to think that 75% of their freaking wins are from come from behind. Like that seems to be their MO. And the fact that we're still like in second place, Giants had a walk-off win today to keep first
Oh
place, but
no, that's not a good thing.
we're only a half game behind the hated Giants at that point. So I think we're in good shape. If you look at what the Dodgers have done, I know that I've been the bearer of bad news, and sometimes I get a little caught up and Shohei when he's struggling. But I mean, honestly, it's like what the Dodgers have done. The fact that they're still in second place, but not hitting as good as they've been hitting. So that's what's amazing.
But I think the big story today has to be we already got a comment here from
Oh,
Ray.
don't do it, dude. Don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. Do not bring the story up. All right, go ahead.
The big story has to be Tyler Glass now, right? I mean, this is
Damn,
bad
dude.
news. 180 today, and he's out of the game. And this time it's not cramps, right? I mean, this time it was
No.
clearly arm related, right? I mean, you clearly saw on the replay and going back to see the video and all that, he was clearly having trouble with that shoulder. And this is really bad news, I think. I mean, I know we're getting the Catman back, but I think this is not good at all, Brad. Losing Tyler Glass now.
No, and I remember at the start of the season, you and I talked about it. It's like going, you know what? Hey, the Dodgers are in a great shape. They won the offseason. They added all these pitchers after we had such a crappy year with our pitchers last year and managed to still win the World Series with bullpen games. And then I'm thinking, there's no way we're going to be doing bullpen games because we have so many talented pitchers. And here we go. Glass now out. So Snell out, Glass now out. I mean,
What's going on
the
with Blake
list
Snell,
continues.
Brad? I mean, got hurt again. Is having catch. I mean, and couldn't
Okay,
do his
I
bullpen
heard.
session. What's going on with that?
Well, what I heard was they had an MRI. The MRI did not show anything more than what the original MRI showed. They just said it's right shoulder discomfort is what the term is on that. So he's,
I know,
I
but
don't
they're going
know.
to take it real slow with Blake now. I mean, I think after what
Yeah,
happened this week, they're going to take it real slow. I know they didn't see further damage on the MRI, Brad, but it's still concerning that he
yeah,
couldn't even have. He's just trying to play catch last week, and he was having pain.
yeah. It's not. It doesn't look good. I'm just telling
Yeah,
you the
that's what I'm saying.
situations like that. You're bringing it up. It does not look good for Snell. And then it makes me think like, and I talked about it in my show, saying that a 5 year deal for him. What was it? 182
182
mil
for
or something.
Blake. Yeah.
182, 5 years. And I'm sorry. I just don't think that was the best deal. I did at the time, but then I didn't really look into what his track record is on being injured. And then I started seeing that going, well, wouldn't a 3 year deal been better? Do you think other teams were going to offer him a five? I don't think so. I think that they could have cinched him up in a 3 year deal. But I think Friedman, the situation with Friedman, he's a friend with him. So maybe it's a situation where Friedman's thinking with his heart, and he's like, "No, man, we're going to sign him. We're going to take care of you," and not thinking about the long term. And will it hurt the Dodgers in the end? I don't think so. But 182 for 5 years, and he's already injured a couple times. And the thing is, you got to sit him out. You cannot play him if you think he's going to be anywhere ready to go for postseason. It's ridiculous.
Well, and it's the same with Tyler Glasnow because Glasnow, of course,
Yep.
used to be with Tampa Bay. They used to be teammates, Glasnow and Snell. So Freeman knows, goes way back with Tyler as well. So we have both players now on the same team. Both guys have had long injury, concerns. I mean, Tyler Glasnow already had Tommy John surgery a couple years ago. This guy missed
Yeah.
over a year, a couple seasons back in 21, 22, and it's like now last year was the elbow and now it's the shoulder, right? And this could
Yeah.
be a very similar situation to what Blake Snell's going through which is basically they're going to have to kind of wait and see. But now it's 2 pitchers on the shelf, and it's an issue that the Dodgers are going to have to go through now because, like you said, they got bullpen games. They got Tony Gonsolin having his first start Wednesday, but how is he going to be? It's been over almost 2 years since he's pitched. So it's like, they're going to be slow with him, too. They're not going to throw him out there for 100 pitches on Wednesday.
No, not at all. I mean, he's going to have a short leash. You can guarantee that he'll have a short leash. But then you look at how many pitchers are actually – what's the number of pitchers that are injured for the Dodgers? It's like 13. Like 13 pitchers are on the IL.
They're kind of the bullpen guys, too.
I'm counting anyone on that list.
Yeah.
It's like there's 13 pitchers early in the season that aren't able to contribute.
You got
to
Blake
the win.
Trinan, right? Who recently went on the IL, which is tough news. And then Evan Phillips, luckily, is back. He did a great job yesterday. I don't know. We got to talk about Evan Phillips. Did a great job pitching out of that jam that Jack Dreyer left.
He did
a
great
great job.
Stoked.
Phillips yesterday did a great job.
You got to give Phillips credit. That's great to see him. You need someone to step up and be in play to make up for what's going on. And also another thing too that I was bringing up, like last week, I was just saying, hey, the Dodgers need a team meeting. The players need to get together and they need to have a meeting. And that's exactly what they did 2 days ago. They had a meeting. They got together, and look, they've kind of righted the wrong. They've straightened things out a little bit. So I like what the Dodgers are doing right now, but the pitching is definitely hurting us right now. Man, we got a bunch of people chiming in.
I know.
You want to handle that?
Let's go through. So we got Ray saying, give props to Pajes going 4 for 4. Great pitching by Gomes.
I'll get to that. I want to say something about that.
Talk about Pajes. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, let's talk about Pajes.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, he's crushing it 10 for 12 out of the last couple of games, batting .277 when he was batting an anemic like 130 or 140. Yeah. I mean, you got to look at it this way now. With Pajes playing the way he's playing, does Kim even have a shot at being on the team? No matter what he does in AAA, unless you're going to put him in and have him play third base. I mean, I don't even know what you do with Kim at this point.
Well, I think Pajes doesn't want to get traded. He doesn't want to get traded, Andy Pajes.
He's not going anywhere right now.
Yeah.
The way that dude's playing and his defense. We don't even talk about the defense. How many home runs has he robbed?
Yeah,
I mean,
he's doing a great job in center field for sure.
Yeah, big props to Pajes. What he's done. Batting .277 right now. He's really brought it up. So really stoked on what he's doing.
Then we got also racing, great pitching by Gomes. We got we got 2 runs saying that Glass. I think he's talking about Glasnow, saying it's a bad contract. So what do we say about Tyler Glasnow? I mean I don't know. I'm going to start to agree with the fans here because this is the second year in a row. I mean, didn't finish the whole season last year. Yeah. I mean, if we don't get much out of Glasnow this year again, I mean, it's going to be I'm going to be very disappointed as a fan because I expected Glasnow to be healthy this year. I mean, he missed a long time last year, and for him to get hurt in April is I don't know. I just think it's inexcusable, Brad. I mean, these guys have to be ready to go for the season. I mean, especially if you've been out for such a long time last year. I mean, there has to be something you could do to be ready for the season, right?
True. Like, is he overthrowing?
Yeah.
What's going on?
A long time last year, right? I mean, like Blake Snell had his injury early in the year last year and then pitched a lot after July, but Glasnow was the opposite. He got hurt in the summer and didn't even play part in the team's run to the World Series.
Yeah, was that guy said 2-run DMC said?
Yeah.
Glassman needs a fragile tag on his jersey. Can you say bad contract, which you brought up? So it's like, yeah, I mean, he is fragile. He is like glass right now. It's like he goes out there and you're like, oh my gosh, can he get through 2 innings? Can he get through 2 innings? And like, nope, he cannot. It's just sad to see that happen. It's like, and this goes back to what I had to drink coffee out of my shoe because I predicted Buehler would sign back with the Dodgers. And I really felt the Dodgers gave up on him. I mean, he was such a clutch guy for us, helped us win the World Series. I really thought Buehler should have been on the team. I think that was a bad move, not securing him for another season.
But even though they signed Sasaki, though, I mean, they signed Sasaki and Snell. I mean, they had to let a couple guys. I mean, and the 2 guys they let go were Jack Flaherty and Buehler, right? I mean,
and they both
what they
pitching
have done.
well too. They both been pitching well. So
this
I
year,
just thought that there was a way that you could have tried to keep him. I thought would have been better. And I got a couple of friends of mine that are Boston fans, and they're high on him. They love the Buehler is on that team. So I wish we would have kept him. But I mean, what do we do now? You're talking the Catman's coming back.
Yeah.
Wednesday they say to start against the Marlins, right?
Yeah. That's
I think
right.
that's a good idea. If you're going to start him, like bring him back, start him against a team that's not that good.
Yeah.
Eh,
The other Catman's back too. His first album in 20 years. I don't know if you saw Brad. Peter Chris.
Oh yeah,
First
yeah.
album in 20 years. So.
Nice, dude. I knew you'd get some kiss in there.
Yeah, I got the kiss.
I
up here.
saw them, dude. I saw them a few times. I saw them at Irvine Meadows back in
I
the
was
day.
at the last Kiss show ever. Well, quote unquote last show ever at the Madison Square Garden. So I was there.
I met Gene Simmons at a hotel in Billings, Montana one
Wow,
time.
that's awesome, man.
Random. All right, we can't get caught up on that, but we could go on for that.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it's great to see Tony Gonsolin back. I mean, it's been too long. What is it, 20 months? The last game he pitched was in 23. Of course, had the injury, the surgery, and he talked about in an interview last year. I believe it was late last year, or early this year.
Yeah.
About how he was like really bummed out that he wasn't part of the team last year that won the World Series, right? Because it was obviously a dream of him to be part of a team that would win and all that, and he's really feeling bad about it. So hopefully this year the Dodgers, he's part of the team and he could go all the way and win, which would hopefully be good.
Wait, someone just chimed in.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about this. When is Kershaw coming back?
Well, soon, because he's already pitching in the minors.
Are you excited to see him come back? I know you haven't been.
I don't know, Brad. Not too excited. Not too excited. Now with all the injuries, I mean, we're going to have to rely on Kershaw a bit more. I mean,
yeah,
that's
I'm
a bit of a concern.
And I'm changing my tune on Ohtani right now. I'm gonna flip flop like a pancake here or a fish on a line because I think Ohtani needs to continue to ramp up pitching. The way this is going,
the way
it's one guy's down, another guy's down, another guy's down. I think that don't rush him, but the Dodgers always say that their priority is to have Ohtani be ready to pitch in October. Whatever we get before then would be great, but if you don't get to October, then you're going to need him. So I'm changing my tone. I think that you need to continue to work at him. I think he's kind of hit his way out. Love to see what he's done. I mean, he's batting .286 now. He's really brought his numbers up, and he's getting base hits. So he's not trying to crush the ball. And the thing is, that guy has got the best exit velocity of any hitter in all of the MLB. So it's like even a standard hit for him could be a base hit because of how strong that exit velocity is.
Yeah, hit a couple doubles yesterday, had a big day against the Pirates, but I don't know, Brad. I think with Ohtani, you have to be really concerned, with the idea of him having, pitch every once a week seems like a bit much, right? Because if he starts pitching once a week as a starting, pitcher, how is he going to play the other 5 or 6 days that the Dodgers have to play? The 5 days, right? They usually play 6 games a week.
Oh, yeah.
How's he going to play 5?
Yeah, how do you even schedule that? That's nearly impossible to try and figure that out because, do you give him a day rest? Do you give him 2 days rest before he pitches? Do you have someone else DH? I don't know how you do that. This one came in and says, starting pitchers can't throw strikes. Is it mechanics? ? Mark Pryor. Double question mark.
Starting pitchers can't throw strikes. Is it mechanics? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it's an issue, not that the Dodgers aren't the only team that's going through this. I mean, I think a lot of teams are going through it's not a Dodgers problem. I know people like to kind of single out the Dodgers for having all these pitching injuries, which I think is ridiculous. Because if you look at all across Major League Baseball, Brad, I mean, there's injuries on all the teams. I mean, Garrett Cole's out for the season on the Yankees. So everybody's having this problem. All the pitchers are getting hurt. I think a lot of guys are going through this in their careers because they play too much at a young age, right? I mean, they only play one sport. They're pitching 10, 11 months out of the year at a very young age, unlike prior generations. So by the time they get to the major leagues, they have no arm left. And I think that's something that has a lot to do with amateur baseball. I mean, it is a Major League Baseball problem because obviously they sponsor a lot of these travel ball teams, but I think it's something that starts at a young age. I think these guys are just pitching too much at a young age.
Yeah, and it's usually, like you said, it's right after high school because high school has rules of how many innings a guy can pitch because I announced high school baseball for Santa Barbara.
Well, some guys play travel too, though.
Yeah.
They play high school and travel ball, so it's like they don't have an off season. These guys.
Yeah, and you don't. And exactly, if you're good, that's one thing being in high school, but when you get out of that and you're doing a travel team and you're also playing college and you're playing, AAA or single A or double A, you're pitching a lot. It's like, yeah, you're using up your guys ahead of time, and it's not a good look. That's for sure.
Yeah, so it's a league-wide problem that I think they have to address because everybody's getting hurt in baseball. I mean, the
Yeah.
Dodgers obviously, I think, get a lot of news about it because they're the Dodgers and they get a lot of coverage. But everybody's has had bad injuries. I mean, Ohtani got hurt when he was on the Angels. I mean, let's not forget that he missed some time too with arm issues. So even he had problems.
But what do you say about Muncy right now? Like, what is your thoughts on what do you do with Muncy at this point? He did get a hit today, so love to see him smack a hit today. But man, the struggles continue, and even a Cub fan tried to call him out and said he wants to fight him.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like,
that was crazy.
What kind of crap is that? what kind of fans are Cub fans?
Well, I don't know if you know, Brad, but fans in Chicago are crazy. They got the craziest fans. They are nuts. They're nuts.
I mean, I think Yankee fans are worse, but yeah, I mean.
No, I don't know, Brad. I mean, I've been to Chicago. I've been to both stadiums. I've been to the White Sox and I went to a Cubs White Sox game. Both teams playing each other, and I never seen more fights at a baseball stadium. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's hatred. I mean, yeah. So I don't know what you do with him right now. But then you also look at Taylor came in at garbage time today.
Yeah.
They put Taylor in. I mean, what is it? What is he making? $14 million?
Be on the bench.
To get like
crazy. Yeah.
2 at-bats out of like 7-8 games?
It's crazy.
That's a lot of money to pay someone like that. Like,
but they can't trade him, Brad. I mean, if he doesn't,
can't.
I mean, if he continues to get lost in the bench, why would anybody want him on their team? I don't see it. I just don't see it. I think the Dodgers are kind of stuck with that guy unless they want to release him and all that. But I think they're kind of stuck with him the rest of this season. And the same goes when you were asking about Max Muncy. Like, I know the Dodgers are in desperate need of, trying to get another third baseman. I know they're going to talk about Kyle Tucker and all that. Not Kyle Tucker. Nolan Arenado is of course.
Arenado's the guy.
That's the big guy that everybody wants, right? Nolan Arenado is a big star that the Dodgers are trying to get, right?
I wasn't even into that at all, and then now it's like, oh wow, I'd like to see that happen now more than ever. It's like, but I mean, I like Muncy, always liked him. I like CT3, but at some point they're both making similar money, 14 mil or something their last year of their contracts. And yeah, CT3's been there for 10 years as a Dodger.
Yeah.
But I mean,
same as Muncy.
Yeah. Why are those guys in positions and young guys aren't getting chances to be backups?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think with Chris Taylor, they had to give him that contract. Let's not forget that Chris Taylor had some really good seasons prior to signing that deal.
Postseason stuff,
too.
Remember
hit that home run against the Cardinals to win the wild card game, and he was really clutch for even remember the 2020 season too, the COVID year. He played great.
No, that was his year. Yeah,
I mean, 21 too. He played good in 21.
Yeah. What do you do with all these guys? I mean, you got this guy saying play a fiducia. Like, he's not getting a chance. And then also, Barnes is anemic, is what this guy says. And, like, with Will Smith, they having a little injury on that wrist, and then Barnes not really getting a lot of hits in there. And, I mean, what did he go, 20 at-bats without a hit?
Yeah.
What do you do with him at that point? Like,
well, I think was it Austin Barnes on the last year of his deal, right, Brad?
He is.
Yeah,
he
so,
is.
I assume the Dodgers are going to obviously go to one of their AAA guys next year, right?
Yeah.
Because Barnes might call it a career after this year. I mean, I honestly, I don't want to. I mean, honestly, you don't want any player to end their career. But the way it's been going for Austin Barnes, I mean, who's going to really sign him at the end of this season, right? Yeah. He's going to get limited playing time on the Dodgers. He obviously offensively, he's not doing anything.
I feel like he's going to coaching.
Yeah, he'll go right into coaching, which is great. I mean,
I think the Dodgers will keep him and have him coach at some point. Like,
and not continue as the catcher, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. And then so if you're going to have someone who replaces him, because Will Smith signed a 10-year deal, so he's going to be here for a long time. So what do you do there? Do you get a guy like Fiducia who could play catcher but also can back up first base or something like that?
You got Dalton Rushing too.
Yeah, you got Dalton Rushing, who they've been getting to play in the outfield, to get him working on his skills in the outfield.
Yeah.
So,
the Dodgers are pretty set up at catcher, which is great. I mean, most teams don't have that, right? I mean,
yeah. But then you look at the rest of the team too, like the infield with Tommy Edman there. I don't think it gives Kim an opportunity to join the Dodgers with Pajes doing what he's doing right now.
Yeah, there's no space for him. Yeah, there really isn't.
Because you're not going to move Tommy to center field when Pajes is just playing defense like there's no tomorrow. And now he's hitting 10 for 12. out of
Yeah.
the last 2 games. Like, he's really hit his stride. They interviewed him at the end of the game. So I like what he's doing, and he needs to stay put. I'm done talking about replacing him and putting Edman out there and putting Kim on second base. I think Pajes could play any outfield position at all. So
Yeah.
I think he's your guy, and he's hitting his stride. And he's a young dude. Was he 26 years
Yeah.
old? He's a young dude.
Yeah, I think it's pretty crazy how well he plays the position defensively. Right, he knows how to move very well in the outfield. I know offensively he struggled. He's obviously getting hot now, but I think from the get go he really knew how to play the center field position, which is why the Dodgers gave him the edge over James Outman. Wouldn't you say? I mean, that's why he got the edge over him.
Yeah. And Outman's actually been doing good, I think. I just looked at his numbers recently.
But defensively, I think Pajes is better than Outman.
Oh, 100%.
I think so.
100%. 100%. And also, back to the Snell thing you were talking about. The talk about Snell, too, is also they're recommending that maybe he go with an injection, to help him out. It's like steroid injection or whatever they're going to do. I think that's a bad idea, because what does that do? It masks the injury.
Yeah.
And so you can injure it even more. And if you're signing a dude for $182 million for 5 years, you're going to inject him with some steroids so he doesn't feel the pain, so he overthrows or something stupid like that. I mean, I think that's just a bad idea with that. I don't think he needs an injection. I think Snell needs to let that heal no matter what, because you want him in a position to be down the stretch for the Dodgers.
Yeah, and then talking about Snell, I don't know if you saw, Brad. I talked about this last week. He did an interview with the Orange County Register, Blake Snell. Was it early month? I think was it last Monday or something? And he actually admitted to the reporter on the Orange County Register that he never feels 100%. Which is wow. I was like, wow. I mean, he actually said that. I mean, he's like, I'm 32. I never really feel 100%. There's always pain here and there. So, I mean, he says this, of course, after signing a contract with the Dodgers. But, I mean, if he's never 100%, I mean, I don't know. What are we doing here? I mean, if he's never going to feel 100%, he's always going to be, dealing with injuries. And he's still got 5 years left. What are the chances he actually pitches 5 years then with the Dodgers? I mean,
I just don't.
I don't see it.
I don't see it either. I don't see that he lasts 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be like a Bobby Bonilla thing where he's like making money for 20 years after.
Or Carl Crawford. Remember Carl Crawford?
Yeah, Crawford. I think I have him on the show in 2014.
Yeah. I mean, he was great on Tampa Bay, but once he came to L.A., I mean, Dodger fans remember that was one of the most disastrous signings of Dodger history.
Yeah, and
it was bad.
But you and I are in agreement. I don't see how Snell fulfills a 5-year contract. I really don't. I mean, unless they shut him down for the whole season this year.
Oh, well, no. I see, but Brad, if they do that would signify another. I mean, that would be really bad. I think. I mean, I know there's other guys that come in, but it would really hamper the Dodgers again. Because Blake Snell was supposed to be a number 1, number 2 guy going into this season. That's how good this guy is. A 2-time Cy Young winner. He should be a number 1, number 2 on the Dodgers. I mean, I know they got Yamamoto, but he's got to be the number 1, number 2.
When you have him starting your first game, your first home opener, and he's your starter, like Kershaw did for many years, like that's a big thing, man. You are the number 1 guy. But I agree with you on that. I think Yamamoto 100% is the number 1. He's the ace of the starters for sure.
Well, no, and especially now after the Snell injury. I mean, even when Snell comes back, I mean, the way look at how good Yamamoto pitched on Friday against the Pirates.
Yeah.
Every start he's had has been like basically great, Yamamoto.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been really good this season. The best we've ever seen him with the Dodgers. Only his second year in Major League Baseball, and he already looks like he's been playing for 5 or 10 years in Major League Baseball, right? Of course, he had a long career out in Japan, but I'm just saying I'm surprised that he's adjusted so well in only his second year. So he deserves to be the number 1 guy, barring injury. And then number 2 is like, if Snell and Glasnow are out for an extended period, then we start to have the same problem as last year, Brad. It's kind of all up in the air, right?
Here we go again.
Yeah, basically here we go again, because who do you put in at number 2, number 3, number 4, really? I mean, it's not set in stone at all. If we take out Snell and Glasnow, it's not set in stone.
Well, here's one from Dai Tran. Says, why do the Dodgers like to assign injury prone? And he also says Glasnow is officially Mr. Glass. Dude broke down with every single pitch. Like, And then this guy says Yamamoto, Sasaki, Snell, Ohtani, Glasnow, and Kershaw going into September would be decent. And I agree.
Oh,
And
come on,
so
guys.
is that what you're looking at? Have you now we're looking at, can we save these guys so they can pitch in the postseason? Well, you got to get to the postseason first.
Yeah, well, and the division's not even a certainty at this point. The way San Diego and the Giants are playing, I mean, it's all up in the air. I mean, if these other two teams continue to play well, I mean, the division it's going to be a race to win the division. Yeah. And the Dodgers, I mean, think about it. The Dodgers don't win the division. It's unlikely they win the World Series because they don't have enough pitching to pitch in the wild card round and in the NLDS. They just don't. They don't have it.
But we just don't know where we're going to be at that point too in the season. So yeah, you're right.
No, but I'm saying if they don't win the division, I really don't think they can win the World Series. I don't think the Dodgers have enough to win the World Series and play in the wild card round. That last season, that was why they were able to, of course, win the World Series. They didn't have to play in the wild card round. Yeah. They won the division on the last week of the season. Remember, they beat San Diego 2 out of 3. Had they lost that series in the regular season, what do you think, Brad? Do you think they would have won the World Series playing that extra series?
Probably not, because the injuries. Yeah. The injuries and everything was bullpen games, and like you didn't have enough starters. And think about Buehler was not on point yet, so if he had to try to go out there in that situation, I don't think it would have been good for the Dodgers at all. And I don't think they would have won. I really don't think they would have won at all. But the only thing I say to what you're saying is if the Dodgers didn't win the division, but they got hot at the right time and they had some pitchers and they had to go to wild card, I think the Dodgers could do somewhat decently, but they got to hit their stride going into that. They couldn't, go into wild card struggling and think they're going to get a win. It'd be like a few years before.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we still have a long way to go for those. It's a long baseball season. It's only April. But, I mean, obviously the momentum, how they're playing going into that playoffs will be very important. But I just think the Dodgers, if they're having all these injuries with pitchers, and they were talking about it on the radio a couple days ago on, I believe it was the post game on last Sunday or Saturday. I can't remember which day it was. But they were talking about how the Dodgers have already used up so many bullpen arms this year, right? Kasperius is being used a lot. Jack Dreyer. All these guys are being used so early. How are they going to be ready to go come October?
Well, they're now talking. I heard some chat about Kasperius moving into a starter role. Like they're talking about that.
Well, what can they do? I mean, they have all these injuries. What else can they do?
Yeah, you don't. Right? I mean, you got guys coming back, so you think that might be able to help things out, but pitching wins championships, and it's going to be real hard to see how we handle this thing.
Well, last year the bullpen won the World Series for the Dodgers.
100%.
They won it for the Dodgers. Yeah. I mean, and this year the bullpen has had issues, right? We have to talk about that, right? I mean, Tanner Scott and Kirby Yates. I know Tanner Scott got the save yesterday, which is obviously great for his confidence, but he's been shaky. And Kirby Yates, too. I mean, he gave up a leadoff double yesterday. He was able to get through the jam against, the Pirates, right? But if he does that against San Diego, they're going to score. They're going to get that runner home. I mean, what do you think about this? We have to talk about this. Kirby Yates and Tanner Scott. They signed these guys, and they haven't been very good. And they gave a lot of money to Tanner Scott. He was the top reliever for the National League, and he's not pitching very well.
A lot of money.
Yeah. Highest paid reliever, $20 million a year, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, we have a Giant fan that's actually paying attention
to
this show. What is it? Julio Garcia says, it's going to be a tough run, probably. The Dodgers will not face my team, SF Giants, until June. So
we got a
Giant fan trolling. I love it.
Infiltrating the Dodgers Digest. We'll see what happens. Giants have been playing good. They won again today, right?
They're playing over their head. That's how I'm thinking it.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that, with Buster handling things behind the scenes, I think, okay, great. But I think they're playing over their heads, and they'll come back down to reality. And once again, it goes back to this. Like the Dodgers, how many come from behind wins do they have out of the 18 wins? I think it's 18 wins that they've had. You got to think, out of those 18, it's been like 13 come from behinds where they were losing the game. And it's like to still be in second place. So when they start firing on all cylinders, I got to think that that's going to be a big thing for the Dodgers, and we're going to see it. And now we've seen it the last two games. What was that? The most hits, I think, so far in the season in a game for them was today. So it's like they're doing the right thing, and they're getting wins even though they weren't hitting very well. So
and they're playing against teams they got to beat, right? I mean, the Pirates, the Marlins, they got to win these games.
Boom, right there. Boom, what you said. Yeah. That is one of the most important freaking things you could say right there. You've got to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat.
You have to. Yeah.
There's no way. And the number one thing is you got to get the series. So if it's 3 games against the Pirates, you got to minimum win 2, which they did.
Yeah.
But you kind of should sweep teams like that. With the Marlins, if they don't get 2 out of 3 of the Marlins, I'd be very, very surprised on that.
Well, I'd be concerned, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, because the thing is, the Dodgers, if they don't win against these teams, I mean, you have to be concerned. But let's go back a little bit to what I was asking you about the relief pitchers, Brad. I mean, what are we going to do with the bullpen? Was obviously lights out in the playoffs last year, but with these 2 new guys that we signed, I mean, if they don't turn around, how are we going to rely on the bullpen come October?
Yeah, because you're taking them down by making them pitch so much early.
Yeah.
And you're right, they're giving up runs. And it's like, it's not like an infield position or an outfield position, a position player that you could bring up that you've been working with. There's not a lot of guys like that because you look at our guys, Knack, Bobby Miller, and those guys that are down there that give up runs and give up hits. And it's like, you don't have homegrown talent from AAA that you bring up to replace those guys. What you got is what you got. And so if the bullpen's not producing or is underproducing, that's not good for the Dodgers right now. And you're overusing him. And Dave Roberts should be looking at that. Pryor should be looking at that and said, hey, we've got to figure something out. We need starters to go quality starts. We need 5 innings minimum. We need 6 if we can get it. But really, we need to get back to that winning formula where they're getting 5 innings, they're getting 6 innings, and you're not asking the freaking bullpen to come in the 2nd inning and bail out the team.
But really, Brad, we only have one pitcher that could do that right now, and that's Yamamoto.
I know, and that's the sad part about it.
Only one guy can do it because, look, Dustin May is on limited usage. We got Roki Sasaki, who's also limited. And then what else we got? We got Tony Gonsolin coming back, who's going to be limited. So really, there's only one guy that you can rely and say, you know what, throw 7 innings, throw 95 pitches. There's only one pitcher right now that the Dodgers have. Just like last year, there was 2, right? It was Walker and Flaherty, right? And Yamamoto, but Yamamoto was a rookie, so he was limited too. So really, it was only 2 guys. This year, it's just one guy. Yamamoto, think about it. He had to be upgraded for being a rookie pitcher to now being basically the ace and having to carry the team every time he pitched. About every start he's had, he's gone deep. And he's going to have to keep doing that because if not, I mean, it's like, there's only one guy really that you can rely heavily on. And that's what's concerning because it's too early in the year. The Dodgers had this issue in the middle, second half of the year. They didn't have it in April of last year. So that's where it gets concerning that they're already having these injuries so early in the season.
Yeah, and talk about going deep. I went Sasaki's had 1 game where I think he threw 80 pitches, and I think that's the most that he has done. So
yeah.
So
that was against the Pirates, right, Brad?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like against another quality opponent, he's probably only going 65, 70. He runs into any trouble, they're taking him out after 65, 70 pitches. I mean, that's basically the way it's been going.
So here's a good one for you. This guy, Sam Fowler, sends it. Can we admit that Glasnow has been a bust with the Dodgers? Would you say that now?
Yeah, I would. I would say it right now because he did not pitch with the Dodgers. He played only half the season in 24, was not a part of the team during the playoffs. And this year, he gets hurt in April. And who knows when he'll be back. I mean, he had the cramping issue last week, only pitched 4 innings. And then today, he only pitched 1 inning and left the game with shoulder pain. So it's only April 27th. And it didn't look good at all. I mean, I didn't like what I saw today. It was like, one warm-up pitch, and he was out. I mean, after that first inning,
you can see him doing this. You can see that with the elbow, like, and the shoulder.
Yeah. And then even I think Oral said that he might have heard a grunt or something on the replay, like basically.
Yeah, no, Oral did say that. He like looked at the ground and like screamed or something.
So what does that mean? He means he's hurt, and it's not good, and it's April. It's too early in the year to have that.
So it's like you shut the guy down for a full month and just let him rehab the best he can so he can be back? Like, I don't know what the answer is. Also, this guy, Sam Fowler, said Dustin May as well. No, I don't agree with that. I think Dustin May had 1 bad game, and I think that's it. But he's had, 2 good games before that?
Well, no, he hasn't been a bust. I just say Dustin May is a good pitcher, but I just don't know if the Dodgers can trust him going 95, 100 pitches, Brad. He hasn't pitched in 2 years.
No way. Yeah, agreed.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think the best situation is when you have 2 to 3 guys you can rely that can go 90 pitches, and don't use up your bullpen early in the year. That's the best way to go.
Fact, 100%, and that's the problem we're having. You're happy if a Dodger starting pitcher can go 5 innings. You're like, okay, he went 5. That's amazing. And it's like, no, that's really not. You really would like him to go 6. I mean, a quality start is a quality start. You need him to go longer so you can protect that bullpen. If you just use that bullpen right now all the way through, like they're going to have noodles for arms.
Yeah, and with the money the Dodgers have spent, I mean, I would say 6 or 7, Brad. I mean, some of these guys got to go at least 7 sometimes. I mean,
yeah,
the money they've been spending for these guys, I mean, they have an elite starting pitching rotation in terms of money spent. And for them, for these guys to only be going 4 or 5 innings, I mean, it's honestly kind of embarrassing. I mean, obviously it's injuries and all that, but it's just not good at all. It doesn't look good.
It's not a good look because you're just taking them down. And until we can get our starters to go a little deeper into games and save that bullpen, and we just can't do it. I mean, what are we going to do? If we could get 15-0 leads, we could put Miggy Rowe in and let him pitch. He's
just like, what was it, that game they lost, right? That was funny.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know what else to do because you're literally taking down the bullpen every single game as you get through this. And today, and you shouldn't need a bullpen to pitch 7 to 8 innings against the Pirates. And we did. And Glasnow has been a bust.
Yeah.
And I have to agree. And I think at this point, shelf the guy and see if you can get him back at some other point. I don't know what else to do with the guy.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think they're going to, like you said, have to take some time off and reevaluate him. But all that, we know how this works, Brad. I mean, these guys, when they have these injuries, they never usually come back and look the same, for the rest of the year, unfortunately. I mean, Tyler's going to do everything he can to be back at 100% when he comes back in 1 or 2 months, whenever that is. But is he really going to look the same? And then they're going to limit his innings, and how that doesn't really help the Dodgers in the long run. Then he gets shut down again. I mean, the arm problems usually don't go away within the season. They don't go away.
Not with pitching, that's for sure. Ray said Glasnow gave up 2 home runs in the first inning. Like, think about that.
First inning. Going back to the first inning, yeah.
Go back to the first inning, what Ray says on that, okay? That's before his shoulder was a problem.
Yeah.
So,
well, he was probably already dealing with some pain, Brad. I mean, I can't believe he was at 100% in the first. I mean, he might have been already kind of having some discomfort, giving up a couple of home runs. We don't know.
Yeah, that could have been the situation, but it's like if you're Glasnow and your arm is whatever 60%, 70%, and you gave up 2 ding-dongs in the first inning, at that point, maybe you just go to Doc and say, hey, look, I can't continue because you're going to send me back out there.
Well, he only threw 1 warm-up pitch before the second. It was just 1.
1.
Yeah, that was it, yeah. And he knew it was out. He knew he was done. So, I think he was clearly having discomfort. And I even wonder, this is obviously just speculation, but was he having problems last week? I know they said it was cramping issues, but was his arm already having issues last week, and that's why he exited the game so early?
You nailed it right there, too. Exactly. Like, you start looking at the things leading up to that, and you start, well, wait, what couldn't that have been an issue in the last one? And he just tried to play through it, or he didn't want to, like, I don't want to be a wimp. I'm just going to stay in it. It's like, well, if you're not 100%, I don't think you should be back in there. And it's sad to have to talk about this right now because I like Glasnow as a pitcher, but he's just not the guy right now. And
no, he's a solid pitcher. I mean, he's been one of the best pitchers in baseball in the last few years. And I expected a lot from Tyler when they signed him. I was very excited when the Dodgers signed him last year.
I was too.
And it just hasn't worked out. And it has been a bust so far. You hope that he turns it around, this year. Hopefully he's not out for the year. He comes back and does great and stays healthy. But if he doesn't stay healthy another season, obviously the Dodgers are not going to be able to trade this guy because after 2 years of injury, they're stuck with him, right? He'll be back next season. So you just hope that eventually he turns it around. That's all you hope for with the contract that he signed.
And so that goes back to okay, so I took a lot of heat for something I said, and I said that I think Friedman sometimes picks with his heart.
Yeah.
If he knows the guy. And I'm not trying to I'd probably do the same thing. If I had a relationship and I was friends with Glasnow or I was friends with Snell and I've known them for years and you in their inner circle or whatever, I think that sometimes you sign up to a contract and you might give more than you normally should give because of the friendship. And I'm not saying, and someone got on me and said, you shouldn't say that about that Freeman. It's like, I'm not saying it that way. I'm just saying that Freeman might have just, picked with his heart a little bit when they came up with the money and the amount of years that they signed these guys to.
Oh yeah, well
Like
I think
that's
especially with Blake Snell. I mean the Dodgers way. I mean what was it? I think the nearest was like 120, 130, and the Dodgers upped it up to 180. It's basically an offer he would not say no to. It's $50 million. Why would he say no to
but
that?
but I bet you anything if you give him 3 years at like
Well,
120,
that's what other
three
teams
years.
were offering though. The
Yeah,
Dodgers wanted to get him.
but I bet he would have went with the Dodgers because he had a chance to win the World Series. So it's like he
I
has
don't
a chance
know.
to be a champion.
Yeah, he
So
could
it's like
have. Yeah.
if it's the same amount of money that someone else is
Yeah.
offering you at another team, and I would think that he would do the right thing and pick the Dodgers no matter what.
Yeah, it's always a concern for these guys, right? Especially with California's tax system and all that. You got a team, in Texas and all that offering the same, and the taxes are less. These guys tend to go over there, right? So I mean, that's why the Dodgers have done what they have done the last few years. They always overinflate their contracts. They give like $50, $100 million more. What was it? Ohtani, the Angels offered like $600 million. They went out and offered him $700, right? So that's just what they've been doing the last few years, and that's how they've signed everybody. They just basically pay the most, and that's why the Dodgers get all the players because they pay the most out of everybody.
Well, and it's one of the best TV contracts in all of baseball
Yeah.
with the Dodgers have, so they do make money. And how many sellouts? Like, look at how many sellouts they
Well, the
have.
highest attendance in baseball.
It's always
Number one.
is. It's
Yeah.
like, so you're getting numbers, and look at the prices of everything.
Yeah.
Go to the stadium now and order a few things. Like, everything's gone up, but they also have good sponsorship behind them. Look, when I used to work there, the McCourts were the owners of that team, and it was the worst actually time for the Dodgers. And luckily, Magic Johnson and his group came in, bought the Dodgers, and basically saved them from being just a mediocrity team. Like,
Yeah, we
so,
brought them back to greatness. This new ownership group. I mean, they've won a couple World Series. They've been to where they should have won 2 more, right, against the Astros and Red Sox. That still hurts. This team should have probably 4 World Series by now.
Yep, exactly. Here's one. Die Train says, "Hope Kershaw still got it when he comes back, and so in Gosselin too. They're saving Shohei as a trump card for the postseason." So,
yeah,
and that might be the situation.
Wow, I didn't notice, Brad. We have a lot of comments. I think we should go through them. We got tons of people here.
Why don't you snag a couple of these? Let's get some of these in.
We got what was another question here from Julio saying, do you think the Dodgers are going to trade Bobby Miller? That's a good question because we kind of covered that. And I think it's a good time to trade him, Brad. I think this is a great time to do it, especially with the injuries that they're having in the bullpen. Maybe try to get another solid bullpen arm for him. I think it's a good time. What do you think with Bobby Miller?
Yep, 100%. I think it's time for them to part ways with Bobby because they've given him all these opportunities. He comes in, he gives up hits, he doesn't last long. It's like, okay, how long do you keep him in that situation? And if he's your guy that's a backup when a guy gets injured, you bring him in and he can't produce, then he's got to go. Because you're bringing a guy in like him. And it's another situation, Mike. It's another situation where a guy comes in and can pitch 3 innings and he's done.
Yeah. Well, he looked really bad last season, Bobby Miller. He did not look good at all. And he didn't look good this year either. I mean, I think he's had a lot of chances. I mean, we wish nothing but the best of Bobby Miller. But I think the Dodgers are going to really think twice now of giving him another shot, as a starting pitcher. With the way he's looked. I mean, he just doesn't look like a Major League Baseball ready pitcher right now at all.
And the sad part, the guy can throw hard, so it's like he just needs to, maybe it's a change of scenery what he needs to do something better. I don't know what it is.
It's just he's just got to work at his game. It's going to take time. I mean, like Kirby Yates, look at him. I mean, it took him a long time to break in until he was almost 30 years old, and now he's a star pitcher in baseball, right? I mean, I'm talking about one of our relief pitchers. I mean, this guy really worked hard to make it to the major leagues, and eventually he did, and it's paid off, right? So I think some of these guys, they just have to keep working at their game, and sometimes you regret trading, right? I mean, the Dodgers might regret trading Bobby Miller. He could go win, 10, 15 games with another team. It wouldn't surprise me.
and then come out and pitch lights out against the Dodgers.
Throw no hitter at Dodger Stadium, right?
Just something stupid like that, yeah. Hey, one thing we haven't said, though.
Yeah.
Congratulations on Teo. 200 career home run today.
That's right. Lost in all of this, right? Yeah.
Yep. I mean, you kind of lose that a little bit, but he's been strong. I mean, what is he batting? 277 on the season. Pajes has bumped his average up to 277 as well. Freeman's at 283. Shohei's now jumped up to 286. Kike's still down at 155, but hey, the 3-run home run
Yeah.
yesterday,
Pinch
that was
hit,
awesome.
too. Crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Muncy 173, Edmund 243, and Mookie 232. People are saying Mookie's struggling a little bit at the plate. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think Mookie Betts had a really rough offseason, as we know, with the illness and all that. And then he broke out and had a good start to the season. But, yeah, he's definitely struggled a bit as of late. And, as we know, Freddie Freeman hasn't looked the best either. So that's been a bit of a concern. Ohtani has had some rough games and then has had really good games. Obviously, the Dodgers have been inconsistent in many ways to kick off the year. I mean, if we look at it in a non-biased way, Brad, I mean, they have been inconsistent. I mean, that's just how it's been.
Yeah, and I think that you have to give the Dodgers credit for being in second place, having 18 wins, with having most of those come from behind.
Yeah.
And they were not hitting good. So to still find ways to win the game,
yeah, it's good,
even when it's little things that you need to do in baseball to get that W, and the Dodgers are looking good there. So you look at that, and now they're starting to hit. If they can continue to do what they did the last 2 games against the Pirates, I think that we are going to be in first place by a few games for sure. But
yeah, you look at the schedule they have coming up, Brad. I mean, the next 9 games are against non-playoff teams. They got the Marlins 3 times, and they got the Braves 3 times, and they got the Marlins again. So it's 9 games against teams that are not going to the playoffs. So, I mean, you expect the Dodgers to win 7 or 8 games. You have to.
Yeah, you really got to think that. But, I mean, once again, pitching has been the problem. We're seeing the hitting step up. Muncy was 0 for 16 today until he got that hit.
Yeah, very concerning.
To me, if there's anything glaring about the Dodgers right now, it's that third base position with Muncy. And
Muncy's tradable. You think Muncy's tradable, though? Do you think the Dodgers could trade? I think they can. If they have the right package, I think somebody will take him. I think
you can't send him to the A's because they already have another Max Muncy.
Well, no, yeah, I know, that's right. They got 2 Max.
You can't have 2 Max Muncys on
Don't say that, Brad. They just might make that trade. Have 2 Max, a PA announcer's nightmare and a play-by-play guy's announcer nightmare too, right?
Yeah, you might want to change that. So I don't know what you do with him at this point. Maybe Taylor, give Taylor a little bit more time at the infield. I don't know,
but Taylor hasn't looked too good.
He hasn't, but he's looked better than Muncy. He doesn't get at bat any ABs, so
not enough.
He never gets at bats. Yeah,
and Muncy's in there because he has the potential, obviously, to hit the ball out of the ballpark. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
He's got the power.
But no home runs.
Well, I'm just saying, not this season, but he does have the potential.
He does.
That's what I'm saying. That's why he's in the lineup.
Yeah, but that's the concerning part about Max is the fact that he does not have a home run. It's like, what? That's almost a typo when you go look at it. What? No home runs for Max Muncy? And is he pressing? What's going on? A lot of strikeouts. You talked about the fact that he striked out a lot, and he's not been.
He's just not making the right. He's not making good contact, obviously, because he hasn't been.
But how long? How long do you keep that? How long do you send him?
I don't know, because there isn't another guy really in third base to come in right now. There just isn't. I mean, the Dodgers have, obviously their infield has issues, right? I mean, they have Mookie Betts playing in the infield, who's normally an outfielder. They have Tommy Edman playing in the infield. I mean, there's obviously always going to be concerns with the infield because you have guys, that you wouldn't expect to be playing there every day. And now even Max Muncy's playing there every day, who is not really a player that like you're saying, the way he's playing right now, you don't want him playing every day, but he is.
You don't, exactly. You don't want to have him out there all the time. Well, I do like a move that Roberts made today at the end of the game. He took Freddie out of the game after the win was pretty much going to happen. And I think that's a thing that Dodgers need to do a little bit more of with him, because with Freddie's ankle, it's like if you can give him a couple innings off when you have the win done, I think that's a good thing.
You think it's time to start resting him?
I really do. Just don't make him play the whole game if you're crushing it and you're going to take the win. Take him out. I think that was a good thing. Whether it's the 8th inning, 9th inning, or 7th inning, I don't care. It's just give him a rest every now and then.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. The Dodgers they have to figure out a way to manage all the injuries and manage, of course, a team that went all the way to the World Series last year, and it's so early in the year, and they're already dealing with so much adversity. And other teams are playing good. I just hope the Dodgers get a lot of wins in the next couple weeks, because if they don't, then we're going to start to talk about a rough start, right, for the team. Because if they're not like, if they don't win, like I said, 7 or 8 games and they go 500, they go 5-4, then they're probably not going to be in first place when those 9 games end. I mean, that's just the way it goes. I mean, if they want to be in first place when these 9 games are done, which is a very important time for the Dodgers, playing against 9 games against non-playoff teams before they play the D-backs for 4.
Well, you are right.
Kind of an issue, right?
You are right. If you look at, I'm looking at their schedule right now, what the Dodgers are doing. It's like you got 3 against Miami, then you have a day off, then you go 3 against the Braves on the road, then 3 more against Miami on the road. Diamondbacks on the road for 4 games.
Yeah.
Then you got the A's for 3 games, the Angels for 3 games, Diamondbacks at home. Then you face the Mets somewhere in
Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so, the games after that 9-game stretch, after that, maybe the A series should be a gimme playing at Dodger Stadium, but all the other games are going to be, contested games. Even the Angels have been pretty solid this year, and we know every time the Dodgers and Angels play, it's usually close. So they're going to be contested games against a team that is having injury concerns, and if they're not where they want to be in the standings, then it's not good at all.
Yeah, mark your calendars. June 9th is when the Dodgers will face the Padres for the first time, and then they got.
Is
Padres
that in San Diego, Brad, or is that in LA?
Yep, that is San Diego.
That's
a Petco.
Wow. Okay.
And so they go 9th, 10th, and 11th against San Diego. And then you got San Francisco, right? And then San Diego.
Yeah.
And then the Nationals. So June is going to be an awakening. And that's just crazy that they're not facing the Giants. They're not facing San Diego. They're not facing Arizona until June, which that just blows my mind.
But it's good because you're playing like the Marlins 6 times.
Well, Diamondbacks actually they face here coming up.
Yeah, that's going to be tough in Arizona, right? That's going to be a difficult series. But these 9 games are crucial, Brad. Got to get a lot of wins, 7 or 8 wins. I don't know what everybody thinks out there, but I think this is a very crucial time for the Dodgers. They already passed the first test, winning 2 out of 3 against the Pirates, a team that's going nowhere this year, and they're playing more teams that are going nowhere the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, and once again, got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat, no matter what. You got to beat them. If it's a 3-game series, you need 2. Like, if you win the series, you're going to continue to do good. And so that's what the Dodgers need to focus on. Ray says Bobby Miller needs to go with Outman.
Already.
It's like a bad relationship. Ray's always got something funny to say. And
it's like a bad relationship.
Yeah. Carnivora says they aren't trading Muncy. Yeah, they're not because no one's going to take him right now.
And who's going to play third base?
Yeah, and I was never a fan of Arenado coming to the Dodgers. But man, I'm definitely rethinking that.
No, I think it'd be a great trade, Brad. I think it'd be awesome to have him on the team. I think he's a proven player. I remember his time with the Rockies. He was solid against the Dodgers. He was always a tough out. So I mean, it'd be great to see him wearing Dodger blue. He'd be another star on the team. But I mean, will the Cardinals trade another player to us again? I don't know. I just don't see it.
Not after to see what Tommy Edmonds has done.
I don't think so.
Why did we do that? What Tommy Edmonds is like an MVP. That's just crazy. Here's one from BL Boyd.
Yeah.
It says, what in the hell became of the depth postseason pitching injury study we heard about all last August and September? Did they blow it off once we won the World Series? Haven't heard a peep about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I mean,
great point.
I mean, it's a great point because the Dodgers really, I think, picking on the Dodgers, they have to do something about getting these guys ready for the season. I mean, you can't get hurt in April. I mean, you have to do some training. You got to do something to be ready to go. I mean, I understand getting hurt in July or August. I mean, you pitch a lot of games, but get hurt in April after your 3rd or 4th start, after your 2nd start, like Snell. I mean, there's no excuse.
Yeah,
for that.
2 starts. That's all Snell had. That's it. And then he's shelved for.
And Glasnow's 4, right? If I'm not mistaken, right? This is 4 today.
Yep, Glasnow's 4.
Yeah.
Train says, do you think that Roki is improving every game?
I would say so. Well,
I'm kind of torn a little bit. I think he shows his rookiness, and the things he does and the hits that get done against him and the home runs that he gives up. But look at Yamamoto last year as compared to this year. So I feel like Roki next year is going to be his year. So if he can just get there somewhat unscathed and have a decent year, I think he's going to go places.
Yeah, and I think Roki, they're going to really manage him. I think, Yamamoto got hurt last year after that big start he had against the Yankees. They don't want to do that with
Yep.
Roki this year. Pitching in a totally different league in the United States. You just hope he stays healthy, but the way it goes, Brad, I mean, these guys never stay healthy. So you just hope for the best for Roki. I'm just worried about his health. I'm not really worried about him pitching. I think he's going to have mistakes as a rookie, but does he really go the full season without ending up on the IL? That's the $1 million question.
My goodness, just picture that.
Yeah.
To have Snell out, to have Glasnow out, and have Roki or like Yamamoto have a problem.
Well,
Or
Yamamoto
May.
having a problem now would be devastating for the Dodgers.
Oh my gosh,
it would be devastating.
Yeah, they would have to figure some stuff out. But yeah, you just hope and you pray that that's something that doesn't go down with the Dodgers.
There's already 2 on the shelf, and like you say, you're not even including the bullpen pitchers, right? Which also hurt. I mean, Blake Trinan being out, and then Evan Phillips being out. Michael Kopech still hasn't come back. All these guys, that's hurt the Dodgers too. We can't forget about those guys. They're all important.
Yeah, that is such a true thing too. When you start breaking it down that way, and you look at what's going on with them, it's just a tough thing to fathom what's going on with them and their starting pitching, man. So you really want to see that change for the Dodgers for sure. Like you want guys to be able to go deep into the games. And I don't know, why does it seem like this year is worse of a start than last year as far as starting pitching?
Well, I think they're more banged up this year than last year. I think last year they had injuries, but they didn't have them so early in the year. I think that's where the big difference is. And the bullpen was healthy for most of the season last season. I mean, they had, what was it, maybe a couple guys, but really they were pretty locked and loaded the whole year. And I think that's why they were in a groove come playoff time, because they had the whole season to get ready. And the bullpen games didn't really scare the guys because they had done it throughout the year, especially the second half of the year, and that's why it paid off in the playoffs. But this year, you can't really do it you can't do it a whole season, Brad. You just can't do it. I mean, they're doing bullpen games now. They weren't doing that last year in April. They just weren't.
No, they weren't. Yeah, we had guys that were going deeper in the games at that point. So it is definitely a different year than last year. David Ornella says Alex Felon hitting 309 down at LCC. So there's a guy that you could try possibly bring up. But, I mean, the Dodgers, it seems like Roberts does not want to make changes on position players.
You talking about moving them around?
Yeah, it seems like nope. You got to keep Muncy out there. No.
Well, because for many years, Brad, he was doing a lot of changes, and I think that's why now he's starting to get the idea. Let's just have the everyday player, kind of the old school way, right?
And we talked about that. His almost over managing sometimes, and it seems like he did that a lot. And so maybe he had his hand slapped and said, "Hey, stop that, Doc. Stop replacing him. Give him a chance to run out there." But look, if a guy gets 100, 150 at bats, and he still he's a starter, and he's at 115 or 120 or 130, whatever he's batting, or Muncy's at 173, so it's not that bad, but you need to produce. And if you are a position player, a starting position player, you need to produce. And you're playing for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and you definitely need to produce if you're playing for the Dodgers.
But I think it's also, you have a lot of pressure as a manager after winning a World Series. And, to take, you're supposed to, you believe in these guys, they won the World Series, and then you bench a player. It obviously, I think it puts a lot of pressure on you as a manager, because we don't know exactly how, obviously we will know in the future, many years from now, how exactly is the Dodgers clubhouse as a team. I mean, they have so many star players. How do they get along with each other? How do the egos work out? How does Dave Roberts manage all that? Because they got a lot of star players on this team. They're not like scrubs playing. I mean, these are legit future Hall of Famers. A lot of these guys are close to being Hall of Famers.
Yeah. Well, if you get on the Dodgers, if you come to be a player on the Dodgers, and you look around that clubhouse and you see all the guys that are future Hall of Famers, like you're just saying, you got to check your ego at the door, because you're just a small piece in a huge puzzle of mega stars. So it's I think that might help them being a Juan Soto going to the Mets or something and coming there and thinking he's all bad. And he's been horrible this year too. Yeah. So it's so I don't know, man. It's a thing with the management. I think they do a good job of the egos, because you don't see fights, you don't see problems. Like I remember the Milton Bradley years where, he's throwing a bucket of baseballs out on the field and
Yeah.
like he's acting up and not getting along with players. I mean, that's stuff that you don't want. And the Dodgers don't want cancer in the clubhouse. And they do a hell of a good job of keeping that out.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Brad, I think we're coming to an end here with this live stream. We want to thank everybody who hopped on today on this special edition Dodgers post game. It seems like a lot of people are watching on Sundays, so we'll try to do this more often. But I don't know if you have anything else to say, Brad, before we wrap it up.
No, I just think we got to focus on what the Dodgers got to focus on what they need to do, and not to get starting pitching to last a little bit longer. I haven't looked up who's pitching the first 2 games, but yes, was it Gonsolin? Gonsolin's coming back. He's
on Wednesday. He's pitching Wednesday afternoon. Yeah.
So he gets the Wednesday start.
Yeah.
I just hope Kershaw can come back and do something. He's been pitching, 3 scoreless innings in AAA, so he did good there. So I think
Rushing
the Dodgers
him back, right?
Yeah.
Well,
if you're looking at what's going on, I think you need to have a sense of urgency at this point.
I mean, remember they said early in the year he wasn't coming back till August. It's April.
Yes,
we're already
we're
trying to rush him back already, which is crazy.
Well, and he's got a drive that he wants to play too, so he wants to get out there and get it done. So Dodgers got to focus. We need some starting pitching to last a little bit longer. We need Muncy to start hitting, and basically, if we can do that, we can just keep ripping off some wins and beating the freaking teams that you're supposed to beat. You got to do that. You got to take 2 or 3. You got to take 3 or 4. Whatever it is, these are subpar teams. You got to win them.
That's right. Well, I want to thank everybody for watching this edition of Dodgers Digest. Take us away, Brad.
Hey, man, thanks a lot, everybody. Love having you on. Subscribe, like, turn on the notifications. And always remember, as you go through your day, to just think Dodger Blue. Let's go, Dodgers.
Thanks for watching, everybody.